can hear the radio tower humming from here, this low electrical drone that seems to vibrate through my bones. Tyler's already made up his mind. I can see it in the way he's standing, shoulders set, staring at that blinking red beacon like it's calling to him personally, and maybe it is. Maybe we're all being called to something we can't escape. The tower wasn't here yesterday. I know that sounds impossible, but I've been mapping this place in my head since we arrived, and there was definitely no 100-foot radio tower with a pulsing red light piercing through the pine canopy. Yet here it is, solid as the ground beneath our feet, surrounded by a small clearing that looks like it's been here for decades. "The signal's coming from up there," Tyler says, and his voice has that hollow quality it gets when he's trying to sound braver than he feels. Whatever's keeping us trapped, whatever's making the echo repeat our deaths over and over, it's broadcasting from that tower. I want to tell him he's wrong, that we don't know anything for certain, but the truth is settling in my chest, like ice water. Ben's been gone for 3 days now. 3 days since the Mirror Lake Wraith pulled him into that reflection, and we've been hearing his voice every night since, warning us about the loop, about the others who never left. His voice mixed with all the others, previous campers, hikers, maybe people who've been trapped here for years. The echo started small when we first arrived, just fragments, whispers that sounded like wind through leaves, but it's been getting stronger, more coherent, like it's feeding off our presence. Last night, it played back our entire conversation from the first day, word for word, including Tyler's jokes about getting lost, and my laugh when Ben suggested we were in some kind of government experiment zone. Hearing my own laugh echo back from the darkness, knowing that Ben was already gone when we had that conversation originally, it's the kind of thing that makes you question everything you think you know about time and memory. "The beacon turns red every 12 hours, I tell Tyler, checking my watch. "It's been 3 hours since the last time. We have 9 hours before it cycles again." Tyler nods, but he's not really listening. He's studying the base of the tower, where thick cables disappear into a concrete bunker that definitely wasn't in any of the park maps. The whole structure has this industrial feel that doesn't belong in a national forest. Too clean, too purposeful, like someone needed to broadcast something urgent and built this in a hurry. What if we're not the first ones to find this place? I ask, though I already know the answer. The evidence has been mounting for days. The medical equipment we found scattered through the woods, the abandoned campsites with gear that looks decades old, the surgical tools that Dr. Vale, and I'm certain now that the figure we keep glimpsing is some kind of doctor, left behind after his midnight visits to our camp. "We're not," Tyler says simply. "The question is whether we're going to be the last." That's when the echo starts up again, but this time it's different. Instead of replaying our conversations or Ben's warnings, it's playing something we've never heard before. A woman's voice, professional, clinical. Day 14 of consciousness transfer trials. Subject exhibits severe neural degradation following failed integration. Recommend immediate termination of Project Eternal before additional subjects are compromised. Dr. Marcus Vale continues to object to shutdown procedures, claims he's close to breakthrough. Board approval required for... The transmission cuts off with a burst of static. Then Ben's voice emerges, clearer than it's ever been. "Zoe, Tyler, if you can hear this, you need to understand. The loop isn't natural, it's a recording system. Every time someone dies here, their consciousness gets trapped in the signal. We're all still here, all of us who never left, broadcasting our deaths over and over, because that's what the equipment was designed to do. The red beacon means the loop is active. When it turns red, someone has to stay behind to break the cycle, or it just starts over with new victims." Tyler's face goes pale. "Stay behind?" "The tower needs a manual shutdown from the inside," Ben's voice continues, and I can hear the sadness in it, the acceptance. "But the person who does it, they become part of the echo, part of the signal. It's the only way to stop new people from being lured here." I look at Tyler. and I can see him making the calculation. 3 of us came into these woods. Ben's already gone. That leaves Tyler and me, and someone has to get out to tell the world what happened here. Someone has to warn other people about the fake reviews, about Dr. Vale, about whatever Project Eternal was really trying to accomplish. "I'll do it," Tyler says, and there's no hesitation in his voice. "I'll stay." "Tyler, no." "Zoe, listen to me." He turns to face me fully, and I can see the fear in his eyes alongside the determination. "You're better with details than I am. You notice things I miss. If someone's going to survive this and expose what happened here, it should be you." The truth is, I don't want to leave him. These past few days, trapped in this nightmare, Tyler's been the constant. Even when Ben started changing, even when the echo began playing our deaths back to us, Tyler kept us moving forward. He made stupid jokes when we were too scared to sleep. He shared his food when we couldn't find our supplies. He held me when I cried after we lost Ben. But I also know he's right. I've been keeping detailed notes about everything we've experienced. The timeline of events, the patterns in the echo's behavior, the medical equipment we found, the way Dr. Vale seems to appear just before something terrible happens. If I make it out, I have enough evidence to at least start asking the right questions. "How do we know it'll work?" I ask, though I'm already accepting his decision. "How do we know the loop will actually break?" Tyler gestures toward the tower. "Because Ben's voice is getting stronger, because the echo is becoming more coherent. The consciousness transfer might have failed, but it's still recording everything. If someone manually shuts it down from the inside, it should stop the signal from broadcasting. No more fake reviews luring new victims. No more loop." The red beacon pulses again, and I can hear something else now. Voices calling from the woods around us. Not the echo this time, but something else. Something that sounds like our own voices, but wrong somehow. Like they're coming from mouths that don't quite fit the words. "The mimic," I whisper. "It's found us." Tyler nods grimly, which means we're out of time. The voices are getting closer, and I can make out distinct words now. "Tyler, where are you?" "Zoe, we need help." But the inflection is off. The timing's strange, like someone playing a recording at the wrong speed. "Go," Tyler says, pushing me toward the tree line opposite the approaching voices. "I'll handle the tower. You get out of here and tell people what happened." "Tyler." "Zoe, please, let me do this one thing right." I want to argue, want to find another solution, but the mimic voices are almost on top of us now, and I can see shapes moving between the trees. Shapes that look like us, but move with that telltale delay that gives them away. I run. Behind me, I hear Tyler's footsteps heading toward the tower, then the metallic clang of a door opening. The beacon's hum grows louder, more insistent, and the mimic voices suddenly cut off, as if someone pulled a plug. I'm maybe 50 yards into the woods when the echo starts up again, but this time it's Tyler's voice. "If you're hearing this, it means I made it inside." The shutdown sequence is more complex than we thought. It's not just turning off the signal, it's about disrupting the consciousness recording process. I can see the equipment in here, and it's... God, Zoe, there are so many voices trapped in these machines. So many people who never made it out. I stop running and turn back toward the tower. The red beacon is flickering now, unstable, and I can see electrical discharge around the base. "The loop is breaking," Tyler's voice continues, but it's not clean. The consciousness fragments are fighting the shutdown. I can hear them arguing with each other, trying to maintain the signal. Ben's here with me now, not just his voice, but some kind of presence. He's helping me understand the controls. There's a pause, then Tyler's voice again, but fainter. "Zoe, if you make it out, you need to find out about Project Eternal. Find out what Meridian Cognitive Labs was really doing here. This wasn't just about consciousness transfer. It was about creating an army of voices that could influence people from a distance. The fake reviews were just the beginning. The beacon stops pulsing and goes dark. For a moment, the woods are completely silent. No echo, no humming, no electrical interference. Just the natural sounds of night in a forest. Then Tyler's voice, one more time, so quiet I almost miss it. Tell them we tried to warn people. Tell them we didn't die for nothing. The tower collapses in on itself with a sound like breaking glass. And suddenly the woods feel different. Smaller. More normal. I can hear actual wind in the trees instead of that artificial rustling that's been following us for days. I walk back toward where the tower stood. But there's nothing there now. Just a small clearing with some disturbed earth and a faint smell of ozone in the air. No bunker, no cables, no evidence that anything was ever here except for a single piece of paper wedged under a rock. It's a handwritten note in Tyler's messy scrawl. The loop is broken, but the source is still out there. Find Meridian Cognitive Labs. Find Project Eternal. Make them pay for what they did to us. T. I fold the note carefully and put it in my pocket. The woods are quiet now, genuinely quiet. And when I look up, I can see actual stars instead of that strange aurora that's been dancing across the sky since we arrived. But as I start walking toward what I hope is the trail back to civilization, I can't shake the feeling that Tyler's sacrifice was just the beginning. The loop might be broken, but Dr. Vale is still out there somewhere. The fake reviews are still online. And somewhere in a corporate office, the people who funded Project Eternal are probably planning their next experiment. I survived. But survival isn't enough. Tyler and Ben didn't die just to break one loop in one forest. They died to give someone a chance to expose the truth. Now I have to make sure their sacrifice meant something. The trail back to the parking lot is easier to follow now, like the woods are finally letting me leave. But with each step, I'm already planning what comes next. Research, investigation, finding other survivors if they exist. And most importantly, making sure no one else gets lured into these woods by fake reviews, promising a life-changing camping experience. Because Tyler was right about one thing. We weren't the first ones to find this place. But if I do this right, maybe we can be the last.